Well, hello, Modern Genetics. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. November 5th, 2022. We're already here. Boy, the time flies. Thank you, Buzz, for showing up. Good to see you. No real big plans tonight. Actually, T Labs down in, I believe they're in Arcata. I see them posting on different groups, and I think one of the guys from T Labs is going to come on and talk about compost tea in the near future. Already agreed to. I'm kind of excited about that, getting someone else in the industry to come and share some of their information. I'm sure he does have a lot of information. I can't think of his name at the top of, sorry, but anyways, hopefully I'll have a compost tea guy come on here maybe next week. Let's hope so. Anyways, how's everybody doing tonight? Deb G, good to see you. And Sips, thank you for tuning in. Maybe you broke away from the gym, or is this it's a good time to take care of your plants? I don't know. Well, let's see what else. Rum boy, you made it back, huh? You made it back from the Oregon run. Robert Federiconi. That is a very elegant last name. Federiconi. I hope I'm pronouncing it right, not doing it justice. But that is an interesting last name. Let me put the link up, and maybe you want to come in and give us some content, because I don't have a whole lot. John McDonald, good to see you. Paste. There we go. Just no porn bombers. I gotta recognize you. That's the world we live in. The internet, the anonymous internet. Go figure. Internet. Go figure that people are up to mischievous things. Got my little baby here. He's getting big. He's my boy. This is actually a really good cat. This one's going to be a good boy. Isn't he getting big? Oh, yeah. He's a pretty boy. You'll steal the show. You'll steal the show, young man. That's a good kitty. Anyways, what's up? Any questions? Any new viewers? Any questions about green bicycle products, or someone want to show their garden? That's kind of what we do. If not, I don't know. Saturday it's raining here. We find the rainy season's kicking in like normally. This is like how it is normally. It is. It's got a great personality too, John. A very good cat. But yeah, we're getting some rain, which is well, we got a couple of questions here. Flower times, 1 hour on and 1 hour off. Will this work? I don't know. I have no idea, but I think you could do. I think that might be something that would induce some hermaphrodites, possibly. But I've heard light stress, and that might be stressful to a plant. I don't know. Does anybody? I've heard of weird different flowering cycles that people try. I've been pretty much the 18-6 or 12-12 or somewhere. I'm pretty much traditionalist when it comes to flowering times, but I know a lot of people have done some real successful things. My helper, who's been on here a couple once or twice, I haven't seen him for a while. John, he does staggering, which is very successful. Like he'll have 4 units in a room, and the caddy corners will turn on and off independently. So there's some interesting things to do. I don't know. Maybe someone else has some thoughts on that, Mr. Old Man. Yeah, this thing here sounds like a little bit of in the middle of the bud. It's yeah, you can cut that out. It's called vitritis typically, but Yeah, that happens on outdoor wheat, especially, and because yeah, it gets damp, and that's what happens. Yeah, you kind of got to look at it. Buds is correct. Send Buds a picture. He knows what's up. So it's November already. Can you believe it? 3 weeks to Thanksgiving, right? Yeah, 3 weeks. I think it's the 24th. So yeah, 3 weeks. And that will be nice for sure. Cheers. Cheers, mate. Yeah, bud rot's kind of rare indoors, actually. I don't know if I've seen it. Maybe I have. Brian Anderson. Good to see you, sir. How's your chickens doing, Rum Boy? How's I wonder how Fuzzy Butt Farms is doing out there in Oklahoma. I wonder how his chickens and his goats are doing. I don't know. Yeah, just cut it out, Deb. Cut it out, Deb. Just cut it out. So what's going on? I don't see many questions. Yeah, I ask you to do questions and I can't answer them. That's the way it is. What's going on? I need to build out of this. Someone's got to help me. Oh, okay. Trim heaven. You must not have been around this business too long, son. Well, maybe it is heaven. I don't think it is heaven. But I'm a kind of finicky, spoiled person, it turns out. So, anywho, yeah, I feel old. I'm feeling my age lately. There we go. We got some content coming up. Just hold your horses. Jeffro, good to see you. There we go. There we go. Gotta hear you though.
What up, Rum Boy?
What's happening, bud?
Same old, same old. I just harvested everything, so I don't have nothing to show. I wasn't gonna come up because I only have little tiny babies right now. Oh, the Blue Dream is doing great. I'll be transplanting it this week into a bigger tub because I only put it in a little cup to get it going.
And I don't even think it was starting to flower. According to Run Boy, it was just that's just the way it looks because its female parts are very. I think that's it right there. Would be my guess.
Yeah. No, it came. Yeah, it's come right back. It's getting plenty of fan leaves now, and yeah, it's looking good. I just got to transplant it. I cleaned out the tent last night. I have one tent, still being used as a drying tent, and the other one I just emptied last night, cleaned it all out. So I'll be transplanting it probably tomorrow and sticking it in that other tent all by itself to do its thing.
We gotcha.
But yeah, it's looking good.
I think it's just eager to go into flower. As soon as you flip it, I'm sure that's gonna go.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and get at least 8 or 9 weeks veg out of it. So I don't want it to go too fast. I want it to be a bush.
Yeah, it's sexually mature, but it hasn't tried to throw any pre-flowers or anything.
No. And Brett Anderson, again, thank you for your package. And the Rumboy stopped by the house today, picked up some Ocean Bounty and your little envelope.
Yeah, right on. Thanks for that. You didn't have to do that.
No, that was very nice of you, Brent. It's above and beyond, sir, but it was appreciated. Let's see. I don't know a lot about compost extracts. I imagine they're less living, but maybe someone. I heard a little bit recently about some of this conversation, but I need to school myself a little bit more about the differences, the pros and cons between
Now,
Extracts and tea.
is the compost extract, is that a liquid? You get that in like bottle form, liquid? It's like really condensed? Or
That's what I'm thinking, is that
I
it would
think an
be
extract is they're just washing the water through it, like making a quick tea, not bubbling it.
right, but then they probably
yeah, but is it
bring it down
concentrated?
to less moisture in it, so it's a thicker condensed type
I don't
compost
know.
juice.
That would be it. That's it. Yeah, in my mind, I'm thinking it would be like evaporated. You're going to get a compost tea and evaporate it and get some of
Yeah.
the water out and make it a thicker
Yeah.
That would be my guess, but I don't know.
Well, that would be an extract concentrate.
Well, that's what they said, extract concentrate. Oh no, extract.
Extracts.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
So
You're
I'm
right.
not sure. Maybe we could get it. Maybe we can learn something tonight. I'm sure we can.
What size squares are you
Oh,
running
okay.
there, Run Boy? Are those 3x3 or 4x4 squares?
The trellis,
Yeah.
I think they're 6-inch.
No, I mean the size of it all the way around. Like mine are 3x3 trellises. The frame.
Oh yeah, they're 4x4.
Okay, yeah, because those are really nice. You fill them out great for 4x4.
This is my first experiment using chicken litter from the chicken coop. I blended into this mix. I'm starting some seeds in here.
That'll be interesting to see, because I see a lot more like chicken stuff on like Amazon, going through there and looking around. They've got more of that different poops available.
There's a lot more chickens than bats, I'm pretty sure, but I don't know.
Or you could get the dried chicken manure pellets, a Stutzman, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
That stuff works pretty good. I got all kinds of experiments going, starting seeds in different mediums and different methods, trying to figure out what I like to do best.
Yeah, I don't want to mess with my thing. Last time I messed with shit, I screwed it all up. So I'm just staying green bicycles. That's it, my soil.
Yep.
Rumboy, what do you know about compost tea extracts?
Not too much.
It sounds
I just know they're all saying don't bubble it anymore. You're better off doing an extract.
Yeah, I hear it.
I think a fresh bubble would be better. I mean, you're it's like alive, fresh, right there, going. An extract in a bottle, and doesn't stuff die off the longer it sits on the shelf? I don't know.
Well, no, you don't want not buy it. They're like saying take your fresh compost in your bag or whatever, and you strain water through it, and then you use that water immediately rather than bubbling it.
Oh, okay, I get you.
And also there are inconsistencies in brewing. There's a lot of factors that many of which I don't know about. Temperature and the air, the quality of the air, the quality of the air bubble, the amount of air bubble.
He's saying you still bubble it, yeah. Still bubble it just for a little bit.
Well, they're saying that's where you get the pathogenic bacteria, right? When you bubble it.
Yeah, but he's saying you only have to bubble for like a half hour just to kind of wake it up, I guess.
You know what you could do, though? You could do side-by-side experiments and test it pretty easily.
Yeah, that would be good.
Here's my new soil mix I'm going to be using.
So what do you got in there?
Yeah.
It's 2/3 pumice, and then the other third is equal parts peat moss and coarse sand.
Okay, now it's your base. That's your base soil.
Yeah, that's what the plants will be planted in. And then I made this mixture over here that's compost pre-blended with Ocean Bounty.
I like to hear that.
So I'm doing my first test is going to be this round here. So this side here doesn't have the top dress and is getting bottle fed with hydro nutrients, and this side is top dressed with the Ocean Bounty. So we're going to see what happens side by side.
Oh, nice. Well, what hydro? When you say hydro, which one are we looking at here?
It's a bottled fertilizer.
Okay,
yeah,
well,
those hydro bottles.
Well, if it does better than Ocean Bounty, you should probably. I don't want you to say the name, but it wouldn't.
Yeah,
you probably should just.
Well, I can tell you that there's differences in the health. That's my whole interest in the organics. Is I do think the finished product is better.
You know, you have a Brix meter, I'm sure, don't you?
A what?
A Brix meter?
No.
Well, you're going to have to pick that up for me. It's a nice little. It's basically a prism light device that measures sugar content in the leaves. So That's actually a very good health indicator. That'd be interesting just to look at sugar content on those two plants side by side.
That would be cool. And
Because
can't you use a Brix meter for your soil too?
no, well, wait, it's for liquid. So
Oh.
we got to do is take a leaf and like squeeze it really hard and get a tiny little drop of liquid from it, and you put that on a glass slide, and then you put it in the it's like a refract, looks like a flashlight. And you look through it, it has a scale, like a gradiated scale that tells you the sugar levels.
Yeah, because I stopped adding molasses to my tea.
See, that's what plants, you know, when their plants make sugar, that's their job, is to make sugar.
And what I was finding is that when I was adding the molasses and in my, you know, after it was dried and cured in the jars, like after a year, you'd open up that jar and it would have like an alcohol-y, like a winey kind of smell to it. And I'm thinking, well, this shit's, you know, fermenting because of all the sugars I put into the plant. So now I don't do that just so my herb lasts longer.
Yeah, this was my first little rough test with the concept. This plant doesn't have no top dress, so this one's pure nutrients. I had two here, that's why this one's kind of funky because it got crowded, but this one has the top dress on it.
That's some beautiful lettuce there.
So that's the only nutrients that this plant got was a third of a cup of this top dress right on the top of the pot, and then just watered with pure water right over the top. And it gives you that.
Well, that you're going for, you know, taste, right? In the end.
Oh, taste. And I've noticed on leafy vegetables, the organic stuff stores a lot longer in the fridge. Like it could be around for a month and still be crisp, where the hydro stuff in a week is all wilting.
Boils.
That's interesting.
That's interesting.
Very interesting.
In hydro, and especially fucking with LEDs, you start getting lots of tip burn. It's hard to keep the calcium levels high enough in a solution.
Yeah.
Versus in a soil where you can just put some extra gypsum or whatever if you needed some more calcium in the mix.
Yes, it actually works fine. Just do it during the veg cycle, just, you know, so you don't get bud rot. But yes, you can foliar feed Happy Endings and Ocean Bounty. Absolutely.
I do the dunk.
Yeah, I like to dunk small plants completely in the tea.
That's what I do when they're in the solo cups, and before I transplant them, I'll take them over, dunk them in my tea, shake them out, and transplant them into their new pot and stick them in a tent, and they just love it.
No, I used to like turn them upside down and dunk them in, like.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. That's, you know, when you do it at the end of the solo cup life, then it's all like got a lot of roots. So when you turn it over, it doesn't dump soil into your tea.
You know, it's even better. You just put it in, dunk them straight down. You know, have it deep enough where you can just put it. You don't have to turn it upside down. You just dunk the whole thing in. And because otherwise, yeah, you lose a lot of soil sometimes.
Oh, you mean put the whole bottom, the root, the whole cup in there?
It gets water too.
Yeah, I didn't think about doing it that way.
Yeah, no, I loved it. And actually, what that does, in my mind, in my honest opinion, it sets up a biosphere, a biozone. You know, because the tea is going to be full of bacteria and other little things, nematodes or whatever. But those colonize on the plant, and they're not necessarily bad for the plant. And everything in nature is looking for something to eat and somewhere to live. So if you take that place away to live for a pathogen to something that's not a pathogen, I believe that's important.
Yeah, works well.
Yeah, when you dunk your young plants, they love it. They really respond.
Yeah, they do.
They respond, right? Like within a few hours, you'll see a difference.
And then, you know, and they're right at the transplant point, and they just take off. You know, it's like they got that new soil, they've been inoculated, and yeah, they just grow great.
That bud looks like gassy. That looks gassy, and it looks pretty
dense looking. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna start a controversy.
Is that cherry? Is that your cherry pie?
No, this is Georgia pie.
Georgia pie.
What's the controversy you're going to start? Let's do controversies.
That HPS bud sure looks nicer than LED weed.
Is that now? Is this LED here?
This is LED.
Yeah, that other bud did look a little more dense and danker.
The density is actually usually higher on the LED, but there's something about the way the calyxes swell with the sodium lamp. Just it's got its own thing going on.
Well, now on your LEDs, see, my LEDs have that 3000 and 5000 K spectrum, so it's kind of that yellowish glow like you see on your HD there or whatever that high pressure.
Yeah, these are 3K, 5K plus 660 red.
Yeah, so you're running
HPS has a lot more light in the blue end than people fucking think. A lot farther below 400 nanometer.
Yes, it does.
Towards that UVA end, and then plus it's got healthy dose of infrared, or far red and infrared.
A healthy dose of infrared and the UV. I think that UV is critical. It's very critical.
Even from with a glass fitted reflector, air cooled, some of that gets through.
Someone's trying to get deep with us. Does life adapt to their environment rather than evolve? Isn't that kind of the same thing? I'm not sure. Adapting to the environment and evolving. I don't know. Is that?
Well, you're adapting to the environment, but it's missing out on some critical building blocks, I think.
Yeah.
That's getting deep.
Well, it's just like you said. You've grown up. You started a seed right in the your ocean bounty or whatever, and it grew in nothing but your fertilizer. So it adapted to, yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think in different stresses, and I do believe psychoactive plants do better in being stressed strategically. I'm not sure the best way to stress them. My way is usually let them dry out a little bit on the dry side before I water them. That's how I kind of stress them. But I think it's an important thing to have stress for things that produce psychoactive compounds.
Yeah,
but
there's all
again,
kinds of that pro science with the stress and like shoving a nail through the bottom of your stalk, a week before, 2 weeks before you harvest, and it's supposed to produce more trichomes, or doing the pin thing around your. There's all kinds of cool stuff. Icing down your root, your wood, all that stuff.
Well, there seems to be a disconnect between the scientific community that studies like total plant biomass production under controlled conditions versus cannabis growing dank weed. Like the old school growers know what the better weed was, and it may not be grown in a way that made the most biomass. Like you've done these hacks to make the flower have a certain trait, and those are things that they're still not really measuring. They have no way to measure that, like how fucking stinky is that shit in the bag, or how dense does it feel. They don't look at that. They're just going by total biomass weight at a given time or whatever.
It's all numbers.
Under what par level with what nutrient concentration, but they don't do a taste test when it's done across 5 or 6 different consumers and let them vote on it to see which one actually tasted better.
No, in my experience too, is those big monster plants that put 10, 20 pounds out, just the monsters. I've never found those to be like the dankest in the world. I think, in fact, some of the best bud I've ever come from are not the greatest looking plants.
Yeah, usually the smaller nug stuff too.
Yeah, they're usually fit. They're little, but that blue dream, that's another story.
That'll be interesting. It'd be cool if we could sample everybody's blue dream from every different environments, different growing methods or whatever. It would be just cool to compare.
I think I've crossed that blue dream in the past quite a bit. I don't think I ever got anything that was real successful from it, but that would be an interesting cross. It's because it's an old school. It's not been polluted by a lot of these varieties nowadays that are so crossed and everything.
Yeah.
So it's kind of stable.
I can tell you that's not a keeper.
Yeah, I don't. That's looking funky. It's got the castling.
Little foxtailing going on.
Yep, ugly.
Yeah, I never liked that.
So I don't usually spend too much time sorting through seeds because it's not productive.
I know.
Well, what else? What else is new?
Nothing here, just drying and curing, burping jars.
Are you still thinking about getting a little doggy?
Yeah, but
A
that's
little.
quite an investment. Anywhere from $700 to $5,000 for one of them French bulldogs.
I want to get a.
They have a lot of health problems, don't they?
No, that's the English bulldog that has the nose and nasal and breathing problems. Now the Frenchies are pretty good because they have little wrinkles that you have to keep clean. And other than that, I haven't heard any real nightmares. I know that.
I had a buddy that had one and he got rid of it because it was a vet bill.
Yeah, I
I
heard
don't
they
know what the
can have
problem was.
allergies real bad. So yeah, I guess it's a crapshoot when you get them.
Yeah,
But I figure I'm going to do a puppy instead of taking somebody else's headache.
yeah.
I need to get a little dog for my mom. But it can't be a puppy. It's got to be like ready to go. Little lap dog.
Like a little Chihuahuas are good for lap dogs. They really bond to their person and all that kind of stuff. I was
they're-
looking into them too because they're small, but
They're mean little suckers too, though.
some of them can be, and some of them can.
Well,
Just
there's a lot of.
depends on people.
I told my mom if she didn't like the dog, I would take it back. I would take it, not back.
Your chickens laying eggs good for you still, Pat?
That's not. You know what? It's not my job to look anymore. So
Oh,
I don't even know. I know they're molting pretty good right now. The barred rocks and are molting. Their tails are all gone.
huh.
And is your chickens molted this year?
No, I got them on an extended light cycle though.
Okay. Yeah, it's weird. They do it kind of late in the winter. I wish they did it earlier, but they get real skittish. They get real skittish when they start losing their feathers. They're embarrassed.
Well, mine are younger too. Obviously, would they even be molting yet? They're only
I don't know.
6, 7 months old or whatever they are.
I don't know nothing about chickens.
I don't know. But anyways, so how was Oregon today? Was it?
Busy.
Yeah.
Where are all these fucking people coming from around here lately?
They're getting. I don't know. But I guess the shopping season's around the corner, isn't it?
Yeah, but you go to the grocery store midday during the week and it's packed.
It's getting cold, like out here in the Midwest, so the snow bunnies are heading your way, and going to where it's going to be warmer at least.
Well, it looks like we're going to get a normal rainy season. Boy, that'd be nice, wouldn't it, if we got a normal year for rain here?
We've been raining all damn week.
We need the rain here. We need that stuff.
So what's new on the product development?
Nothing. Nothing. Thank you for reminding me. Nothing right now. No.
Why not just leave the Ocean Bounty the way it is because it works and just develop like an instant tea?
But I don't know what direction I'm going to go yet. I know just this. I'm so freaking busy with my other job, with my new job, that you kind of I probably shouldn't have taken this job. That's a fact.
Well, like Ozzy was saying, it needed to be like micro powder or something so it would release quicker.
Yeah, or release at different rates. I think
Yeah.
there's you can control how it's released, by the physical size of it and things. So there's some real interesting things to explore with that for sure. I'm just so overwhelmed. Hey,
Well, I know
Vester.
when you mix up the Ocean Bounty, you get a cloud. If you're not wearing a mask, you're going to be breathing. I mean, it's just so light already that
the tea is even
takes
lighter.
off.
The tea's even lighter. It's nasty. It's nasty to work with.
The tea, though, I just dump right into water, so it really don't dust cloud like when you're trying to mix soil with Ocean Bounty. It's like a big cloud in the room.
You gotta do that outside.
Hey, I don't do nothing outside. I don't want no bugs.
You don't want any bugs?
No bugs.
Where do you think your lobster compost came from?
Bugs?
some big open field somewhere with a big mound and a tractor pushing dirt around.
Yeah.
But I have never had bugs from the lobster compost.
I don't think that's where you'll get any bad pathogenic bugs or whatever for your plants,
Yeah.
but I'm
You're
sure
not-
there's something in there that's breaking down organic matter.
Oh, I'm sure. Oh, there has to be. There's got to be. It's full of biology, but I don't think you're going to have a lot of the bugs like
Yeah, mites and
Thrips.
spider
things,
mites.
things that have like that armor covering because
Yeah.
those shells, that stuff, they hate it. Oh boy, we got a new. I think Matthew King might be a new viewer. Welcome, Matthew.
Royal Darkness.
He said the algorithm sent him here. Interesting.
Well, you already know the Ocean Bounty works. I've tested that, even mixing it and planting it at the same day, and it just takes off with no burning and no problems.
No, I get that.
It starts feeding the plant immediately. So
No, it's ready to go. It's good. There's some things that are in the Ocean Bounty that break down real fast too. Some
cottonseed meal pretty quick.
Nah, not as well. The amino acids go real quick. There's
Maybe the fish meal and the neem meal.
Well, the neem is real crunchy. The fish meal is real powdery, so that goes probably pretty quick. The bone meal now is real powdery, so the phosphorus is going to be released a little bit quicker. But yeah,
I guess aside from that, you know that releases quick enough that you can put the plant right in it and it starts to feed immediately. So I mean, what more are people looking for?
No, yeah, what they really, it's because a lot of the people who were introduced to this were like super soil users, and traditionally you cook it, or you let it sit for a while and break down a bit. They call it cooking it, or basically composting it a bit more. And I hear that, and you really don't. You can, and it actually probably enhances it for sure.
That's what I do. At least 30 days.
Yeah, you don't have to, but you don't have to.
Oh, I think that was mainly for the blood meal situation. Let that cool down on the regular subcool mix.
I think that's kind of my opinion, that the blood
So you weren't
meal,
really cooking it. You were letting it fucking do its thing so it wouldn't heat up once you put your roots in it.
but also like because I used to I put it in a big plastic trash can, I don't know, 35 gallon, whatever, 50 gallon, put in a couple gallons of compost tea and cover it up. And then boy, in a week or two, you just have a nice, at first I thought it was bad, but a nice white layer of mycelium across the top of your dirt. Ooh, that's the good stuff.
Yeah.
It's ready to go. Or if mushrooms start growing, that's even better.
Yeah, that was kind of my thought with pre-mixing it with the compost, is it can just sit in the bucket.
Yep.
Start breaking down.
Yes, it will.
I got this kind of figured out ratios wise, where a quart onto each plant is appropriate for like the cubic foot mathematics.
Are you doing mathematics in the real world?
Trying to.
Yeah, see, I really don't measure too much.
Yeah, I have a picture. I've got 3 cubic feet worth of Ocean Bounty in this bucket. So 6 pounds of Ocean Bounty in this amount of compost. So you better be kind of paying attention so you don't overdo it.
Yeah, that's way more than I use.
But then when I spread it out across the pots, it's appropriate. It's the same amount of dose. It's just all going on the top rather than being mixed into the whole soil profile. Because then when I'm done, I'm going to just scrape that compost layer off, throw it in the compost bin, and then recycle my soil. And then I know my nutrient load is back to 0 for the next crop on that mix. So I'm not accumulating over time. At least that's my theory. We'll see how it works.
No, I think there's some sound logic in that theory.
And with the soil mix that I put together, that's not going to break down to a powder because everything in there is rock, pretty much.
Yeah, because after you break out that root ball, you do get a lot of powder. You're right.
This soil is already used. This is recycled in this bucket. This had full crops of lettuce grown on it.
Are you growing any beans?
I did out front.
Because I think you put nitrogen in the soil when you grow beans, don't you?
They claim that, but I researched the whole soybean thing, and they still fertilize those. It's not like a freebie.
No. No, I was,
Or
I was,
you,
I
you
was
probably got to run them like as a cover crop and then chop them or something and let them rot back down on there or something.
Yeah, I saw a talk where he said the guy was explaining like how nitrogen changed after World War II. It went from less than, organically way less than 10%. Anything that you get is way less than 10%, and like uh, like urea is 41%. So it's like they thought it was the greatest thing in the world for for a while, but it ended up killing the soil. But
Hmm.
huge difference in how you get nitrogen organically compared to like with synthetically. But I digress. I wandered
I
off.
kind of think on the leafy greens, that's part of the difference in the flavor profile too. If you got them all pumped full of nitrate, nitrogen
No, and
versus,
that would be that would be real interesting little experiment because there's like what 3 different forms of nitrogen that plants absorb. I
yeah, and
believe.
I think they got the hydronutrients half backwards too, because I ran one line before I sent out and had lab tested, and come to find out it was much higher in ammonium nitrogen than traditional nutrients, and that one performed the absolute best. So I think they're like so focused on the nitrate.
Hmm.
Yeah, so there's if you just like urea's one, nitrate's one, and I don't know. I think there's one more that the plants absorb, and just try which one changes the profile of like the flavor or the terpenes. That would be
Right.
choosing real carefully the source of nitrogen, and just focus on nitrogen source. That'd be an interesting little experiment that I'll probably never do. That looks like a rock hard little bud when it's ready to
Yeah.
go.
Yep.
You can bring that one to me if you'd like.
I can't get this one done fast enough. I'm getting beat up.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Oh,
They like what they like.
they like what they like. Well, whatever you're doing, I love your experience, and it's amazing that you actually sent. What labs do you send your stuff to?
Oh, for nutrients and stuff.
Yeah,
I can't remember which lab that went to. I'd have to go back and look.
there's
One
one
of the
outside.
main ones.
There's one outside. I think Stockton or
I think
Modesto.
I went through custom hydronutrients, so it was the lab that he used. I can't remember which place that was.
Okay, I got a couple lab sources too, like that are certified. If that makes any difference, a lot of the ones down in Humboldt, there isn't one in Humboldt that's certified. I know that they do.
I'm trying to go back to the Stone Age. I want to learn how to just do with what I got on my lot. Use my chickens and
there you go. That's
food waste and some random just whatever materials and try to turn it into plant food.
Nope.
So my buddy who had that strawberry glue outdoors that used the green bicycles this last season took his bud into a shop that tested for THC and CBD and whatnot, and it came back 19% THC and 2% CBD. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I just go by me.
Yeah, it gets me wasted, so I don't. It's that whole entourage. I don't go by the high numbers, 30% THC. It's
No,
like
they got real lost in that is just a marketing. Yeah,
Somewhat. That's what I thought. But this Georgia pie is supposed to be one of those high number ones, and that's the feedback across pretty much everybody. Is it's definitely stronger than a 20%er that I've got.
Well, that's how you do it, is by trying it.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've had high number ones too that were really good, but I've had high number ones that I thought were, mediocre.
Yeah, no, and I think the testing labs kind of, it came out real early. If you tried 3 testing labs and one give you the highest THC results, that's when you go to, there aren't any real standards out there.
Yeah, this was the high CBD I tried to give you, buds. This one's supposed to be like, forget if it's up to 20% CBD or whatever.
Nice.
Ringo's Gift.
Yeah, I got the Charlotte's Web seeds.
Right. Yeah, this came, it's like, I bought it through the legal market out here with the barcode and lab tested and all that BS, so I know that's what it is.
Yeah, I never. Mine comes through the mail from some other grower, so who knows what
I was making it. I make edibles for a bunch of family members, so I needed to know what I'm working with.
Yeah, that's true.
I got a good edible recipe if you would like another one, Run Boy.
Well, it's CBN, Matthew. That's the one that makes you go to sleep in the cannabinoids.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know a whole lot about the CBN
Yeah,
experience.
it's the one that lays you out.
Okay,
A
that's
lot
the
of
one.
people are getting into the CBD flower for smoking too.
Oh yeah,
Supposedly it just takes that edge off and relaxes you, and you can be focused without,
I've heard that quite a bit.
No, I've always been a fan of that molecule THC a lot. I haven't really the CBN. It's like I don't know what it's doing, but I want my THC. I want my
Oh yeah,
THC. But
even before work.
yeah. Well, what happens
no,
is that THC that with the trichome, I guess when it starts past its ripeness, it'll form more CBN in it. So the longer
well,
you grow like your indica plant and you get more of that amber, it's producing more CBN along with the other cannabinoids.
that's what it kind of sounds like. What Matthew was saying. Hello, family outcast. Cheers.
Yep.
Cheers. All
Family
right.
Outcast, what up?
Do you know family outcasts?
Yeah, I see them around in the
Never.
420 community.
I don't think I've seen family. Welcome, sir, or what, whatever your pronoun of choice is. I'm fine with. But welcome to the show. Well, we've been about 45 minutes. Is there any questions or we got anything extra to add?
Mm, no.
No? Run
I
boy?
think that the cold does stunt because I stunned my plants. I looked at my schedule. They're like 5 weeks into veg and they're just little babies. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
because of the cold, because I didn't have my heater for my grow room and the temps dropped, over the last couple of weeks. So in the daytime, when my lights were off, it was only like 63, 64 degrees in there. And I didn't realize that. So I
That'll
think
do.
the cold really stunned them a little bit because now that I got the heater in there, everything's taken off.
I think that you're onto something there.
Yeah,
You're onto something.
foolish mistake on my part, but hey,
We all make them.
man,
That's what life's about is mistakes and then fixing them
exactly. Live and learn.
or run from them.
Yeah, scrap it all, start over.
Yeah. Time to leave town. Anyways, well, we did I don't know. I thought we had a pretty good show. Next week, I might have a guy from T Labs, which is like a legitimate big tea facility down in Arcata in Humboldt County. So hopefully he'll
That would
come
be
on
cool.
next week and we'll get some new perspective on some teas and we get him some good tea questions that I get a lot of that I can't answer. So maybe
Yeah.
actually he might be a good person to talk about the extracts. Old man
Oh yeah,
bastard.
yeah. That's
So
that'd be great.
I'll try to get him on next week. We'll give that a try. He even said he would like to drive up here, but we'll see. Maybe he'll be right next to me. I don't know.
Wow.
I know.
Now that's showing some incentive there. I mean, he's
Yeah.
get up and go. I like it.
No, I do too. So, anyways, hopefully we'll come back with that. I think it's Luke. Okay, Mark. I think that I can't remember his name. I think it is Luke. We'd love to
cool.
have Luke come on here. So, anyhow, let's wrap this bad boy up. Let's go get a good night's sleep. I got some birds to put away and chores to do, and then I'm going to relax.
All right.
Tired. Take care, buds. Thanks for coming on and your support. And good night, everybody. Sleep
Night,
well.
everybody.
Have a great weekend, and I'll see you next Saturday. Peace.